Hey everyone, welcome to Chicken Cindy's. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing a part 2 for this video, but here we go. So if you haven't watched part 1, I'm gonna put a link here to it. Basically, I kinda just went Hulk on a couple stems with a hammer to kind of check the quality of Amazon stems durability. I had quite a few good comments on that video over, not necessarily being scientific or not necessarily, like being what they kind of expected in the sense of like what they've heard how these have broken. So went ahead and decided to buy another one of these wake stems. This time I got a green one. So this was the original black one. As you can see, it's pretty damaged from the hammer. Not broken, but it is damaged. So I wanted to get another brand new wake stem to use this for the test. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this JG Bike one for one of the tests, primarily because I did beat this one with the hammer, but I don't really think it got too terribly bent while I was doing that. This new style of wake, I'm gonna go ahead and just not worry about doing again. So we're gonna essentially do the JG Bike and this wake stem with these new tests. But I also ended up buying some wake handlebars. Decided to do this test with the Amazon budget-friendly handlebars as well. So basically what we're going to do today is I'm gonna take off my Unite cone, my P&W bars and stuff, and I'm just gonna kind of set it to the side, and we're going to install this onto here. I'm originally going to actually torque it to spec and just kind of hold it all together. And then I'm gonna just try to manually twist it and break it. I got a pretty heavy hammer to try. It's like a mini sledge almost. And I'm gonna kind of take that on the side of the handlebars to see if the bars bend as well. And then I'm gonna just kind of try to over torque the screws just crazily to see if I can get them to strip, or how much force it's going to take for me to strip the faceplate bolts. Because those are some of the different kind of complaints that people were having. So let's go ahead and install this stuff, and then we'll get to going. So I'm gonna start with the JG Bike. I did have someone point out in the first video that I was not wearing safety glasses. I actually grabbed these from work and forgot to put them on. So fun fact there. But right now it feels like it's holding pretty good. So, okay, we're good there. I guess, just overall, I'm just trying to just see how good it feels. I know I got some suspension, but I'm not really feeling any flex or anything in the sense of like I'd be concerned about riding them. Now that'll kind of hold the wheel in place a little bit better too. Okay. I'm tugging a couple hits, and honestly, so far it feels pretty good. I don't necessarily feel like it's going anywhere. Huh. I feel like that'd be a lot of force. So, if you're gonna come down on it, right, that's where it's gonna break. I'm not, it's probably, it's not the smartest thing to do, but at least I'm in like I'm about 180 pounds, and I don't feel like it's, the only other thing I could really think about trying is getting leverage and like sticking a rod in here and trying to pull and prod it. But I just don't feel like that's necessarily going to do anything. So I'm gonna get out my bike. This is a 4. This is what I'm gonna do. I feel like if I set my torque wrench, let's say around 15, I feel like that's a pretty reasonable torque amount for these to like not break, in my opinion, if I can get it up to 15. Because I just feel like that's way more torque than it would need for any stem. If someone was to, so here, one more twist, that should be 15 here. Hopefully you can see that okay. Hopefully you can see that is. I'll put my hand behind and see if I can get it to. Hopefully you can see that's 15. So I'm just gonna, I guess I'm just gonna crank it to 15 newtons. Well, yeah, the picture. 15 is not very good for a bolt. Holy cow. That sheared right off. Dang. All right, fun fact. Well, let me go down to, let me take it away from 15 then. Okay, let's go to the next one. I guess we'll go down to, man, interesting. Let's go down to 13. I'll take down 2. And we'll try the top one this time. So I'll have to wait to, because that bottom's lost all of its pressure pretty well now. Doing okay. Yep. Look at that. So now the question is it just because of the bolts? So that one broke before I got to 13. So now I've broken 2 of them. Huh. How interesting. Now, I figured they would break, but I guess I just figured they'd be able to make it to 10 to 15-ish. Huh. How wild. So yeah, I guess maybe if you just don't really have a torque wrench. All right, I'm going to do the bottom one. I'm going to do this one at 10. So I went down to 10 now. Okay. Hopefully you can hear that. So it's gotten to 10, and it's holding okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of research and just put the number here and just try to find the average number for Newton meters. But I'm pretty for sure for stems, it's going to be around like 5 to 9-ish, somewhere in there. So I feel like holding 10's okay. So now I guess what I want to do is, since that one bottom one held the 10, I'll go up to 11. So let's see if we can get it to cut to 11. Just doing one finger. Okay, so the bottom made it to 11 now. Huh, all right, we'll go up to 12. The other one broke at 13. So let's see if there's some down a little bit. Okay, so that one made it to 12. So the other one broke at 13. I'll probably stop at 13. Interesting though. It's either getting ready to give or it's getting close to popping 13. I think the screw's breaking. It's interesting, I can like feel it like starting to give. Yep. So 13 pounds is right about where they break. That is interesting. Like, I want to try to break one of my nice stems, but I don't want to break one of my nice stems. Surely it's the screw material then, right? Maybe it's just like a cheaper, maybe it's not, it's obviously not like a hardened steel, surely not. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're all breaking right at the heads. Like, right? Huh. So, 100% the screw on the faceplate will break. But the interesting thing is, the screws are breaking, it's not stripping. So I've not had one of these strip. So I'd say in the sense of the JG bike stem, as long as you're doing the appropriate torque, you should be okay. So now I'm interested to try the new Wake stem. We'll slap this on. I'm gonna look real quick on Wake's website and see what torque they recommend, and we'll torque these down to that specifications with my torque wrench. So, okay, cool. Give me a minute. All right, so according to the interwebs, 4 to 6 Newton meters is your average torque. So I'm just gonna set these all at 5. So we're just gonna go right in the middle of it all. So it's even quite a bit lower than what I was thinking it was, because I was thinking like 6 to 9, and they're saying 4 to 6. All right, so this is set to 5 right now. So we're gonna get it to the specific. Okay. All of this should be set to 5 now. I am interested to see that the handlebars are a little crooked. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty hard to move. I mean, it definitely is not gonna torque on you. Like, if it's set. Okay, so a little bit better. All right, hammer, I guess. We'll just go for it. We'll just start. It looks good. It feels nice. I mean, so let's go for it. Feels pretty good there. I mean, again, like, that's all my body weight. It doesn't feel like it's really given or twisting or anything of that nature. Walk out my fork. Maybe I should have done that for the first one. So it feels okay. I mean, honestly, feels okay there. I guess we'll just go for more torque and we'll see what it does. Let's go ahead and just double it. We'll go up to 10. And we'll check out these bolts on the wake then. We'll just work on one bolt to start with. I guess we'll just do the bottom one. So this is going to be technically twice the torque I just put on it, as it was originally 5. And I'll probably do the bolts on the side this time too. I didn't on the last one. I don't know if this one's going to make it to 10. I just feel like it's starting to give. Yep, starting to give. Okay, so these wake bolts, that one didn't even make it to 10. I wonder how close we were. Got to pull it off because of the pressure. So here, the issue definitely seems to be the bolts themselves and not actually the stem. But again, the bolt broke. It didn't actually strip out. And I know I've seen comments of people saying that theirs had stripped. So it didn't make it to 10. Guess we'll go down to 9. That one made it to 9 pretty easily, I feel like. So I guess we'll try 10 again. Maybe that bolt was just a fluke. I don't. So, oh yeah, I think it's going to break again. Yeah, I'm not going to keep twisting it because I can tell it's not going to catch to 10. I can feel it. It's weird, like when you go to break it, or like when it starts to break, like you'll feel the resistance, and then the resistance just stops, and it just starts to free spin. So I'm guessing it's bottoming out, and then the bolt itself is still trying to spin, and it's just twisting on itself and breaking. So, okay. Let's try these side ones then and see if we can get this one to, let me back down to 9 since 9 seems to be the sweet spot. But again, I don't really like the nice expensive stems I use. I don't necessarily want to break because I actually use them. I mean, I guess I could just replace the bolts, but I mean, if you have a titanium bolt, that's something I'll try. I actually have an idea. Yeah, I don't think this one's going to make it to, nope. So I didn't think that was going to make it to 9. So, okay. So now here's the question for you, in your personal opinion. If they're supposed to be torqued to 5 to 6, they should be fine. So if you're over-torquing your bolts, of course, they're going to be compromised and break eventually. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of torn. We're just doing this for science, I guess, anyhow. Because what I want to try now is, okay, this is what we're going to try. This is a bolt from a Kona Robe stem. The bike was about $1,300. So you would think that this bolt should be better quality. So here, this is the black bolt that I'm going to use. This is the silver one I just took out. So if this is a harder type of steel or material or metal, whatever it may be, surely instead of breaking, this will in fact strip the threads, right? So let's get back to this. We're gonna go to 10 right away with this one. Okay, 10, no problem. We'll go up by 2s. Let's go up to 12. To see if my hypothesis is correct. I think it's the bolts that's the issue, obviously. I mean, that's what's breaking. I mean, I'm just gonna go straight to 15, and then I'm just gonna try to manually break it after 15, just expecting it to explode. I'll be freaking darn. That's wild. Here, come on now. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's kind of shiny, but 15. So, it's the bolts. So now there's a two-part question. Buy a $10 stem and get nice hardened bolts to make sure that doesn't happen, or just not trust it because of the bolts. So, all right, let me see if I can break this or strip this. I don't know what's gonna happen, so we'll see what happens. Something broke for sure. I don't know if you heard that, but... Now, was it the bolt? Or was it the stem itself? So yeah, there you go, stripped it. So there are the threads from the inside of the... Look at that. Like a perfect spring. Holy cow. That's wild. Holy cow. All right, let me clean this stuff up real quick, and then we'll catch up and share final thoughts. I definitely learned a couple things that I didn't expect to learn. I guess for me, I never really questioned the durability of the bodies of them. And that's what the point of my first video was checking the durability of the bodies themselves. I guess, I mean, you saw if you watched the video that, I mean, these stems, or I mean, these bolts were all breaking at around like 10 to 13-ish, pounds for their torque. So the bikes are recommended. This one, I did find this one on the stem there on the top. It's 5 Newton meters. So technically the screws worked past twice the rating that you're supposed to torque them at. So as long as you're appropriately torquing these, they are okay. Now, there is still something to be said that this random bike stem that I grabbed, it's got, you see it does on there, it's 6 Newton meters, that just this bolt more than doubled almost what these other ones did, because I mean, I stopped at 15, then I started to go by hand, and eventually made this really cool spring because of the actual wake stem itself, and finally getting it to break in that sense, as opposed to the bolt breaking, actually stripping it out from the body. So, I don't know, like, I'm really torn now over these videos. I'm really glad I did this. I'm really glad that, I kind of figured out, in a sense for me, and hopefully you guys learned something too, over like, what part of these budget stems are the most dangerous. And I would say that the body of the stem is fine. The bolts are the issue. It basically breaking at over 15 with this bolt. If you're tightening these bolts past 15, you shouldn't be doing that. That's almost on you in a sense, because it didn't actually strip until, between 15, 20 plus. I'm not 100% sure. So that was okay. I feel like that's fine. I don't think stripping's an issue. I know some people have said they have had them strip. I'm guessing there's bad bunches no matter what. Nothing's going to be perfect every single time. But I would definitely say that this is definitely still pretty controversial in the sense of what it is. Now, I'm still on the boat of, if this is what you can afford and you're putting them on appropriately and you're not over torquing them and stuff like that, you're fine. I mean, if you're riding just basic green trails and you're just trying to get some miles and you're not doing drops and jumps and things, I feel like these are absolutely, there's no issue. Now, if you're going to start doing jumps and drops and things like that, I highly recommend you spend a little bit more money on a nicer stem. I mean, you saw the difference there. The bolt's absolutely fine still when we did that. So, handlebars, they're absolutely fine. I think these budget bars are terrific. Hit them with the hammer a bunch of times, Put my weight on them. I didn't feel like they flexed at all or anything too bad. I mean, sure, $22 handlebars, Wakes. They seem fine. I don't know how to break these. I mean, I guess if I like put them in the middle of something and like put a ton of weight on them. But other than that, the handlebars are fine. The stems, I don't know, you know, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you found it a little more interesting. I tried my best to answer a lot of the questions that people were asking in the last video. You know, I'm not a scientist. I don't have like the perfect setup to do like everything that, you know, I would like to do, but I tried my best. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of video. If you guys have anything else you'd like me to test or try out in the sense of like other components, let me know. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, everybody take care.